Hello everyone, Pendragon here with the second boss of Black Lair. The second boss is Vaelastrasz the Corrupt. It's a big ass dragon, which fortunately starts with like 33% of his total HP. He's gonna be lying there on the floor. If you talk to him, you start the encounter, so don't talk to him when you enter the room. The main tank is gonna position roughly here. And the melee can either be here or on the other side, but probably preferably here. And the healers can either, and the range DPS for that matter, can either stand here, or the healers can start the fight standing on this ledge, and so can the range DPS. So then it's important that it's tanked in range, and the melee down here need to make sure they're not, for some reason, down here, right? So once everyone's in position, you're gonna start the encounter, and during the encounter, everyone will get a buff or debuff. Lasts 3 minutes and basically makes all your resource generation go berserk, right? So you can't goom, you'll be fully rage capped, your energy will be all over the place. Basically, you can use whatever ability you want endlessly and fast. So make sure you use max rank heals, make sure you spam your heroic strike, your cleave, your executes, and just spam your spells as much as possible. If you're a warrior, heroic strike gets a lot of threat, a lot of aggro. So maybe at the start, if your tank is still building up aggro, you want to use cleave instead, right? You can also spam that, just less threat. And as for healers, this fight, Vaelastrasz will sometimes do a decent amount of AoE damage to everyone in the raid. So you need to do some group healing. Generally, the priest can just cover that with prayer of healing and then continuing to heal the tank in between. The boss is basically like a Nixia in that if you stand behind it, you get tail swiped, you get knocked back. If you stand in front of it, you can get cleaved and fire breathed on. And yeah, basically you don't want to be behind or in front of the boss. It also means that if you pull aggro as a DPS and the boss turns and he fire breathes and cleaves you to hell, basically the entire melee group will instantly die. So it's very important that you don't pull aggro, and if the main tank dies, that you're ready to move where the main tank is. Now, the main tank dying is gonna happen, and that's because both a healer as a tank will, or healer, any mana user and a tank will eventually get a debuff, which basically says you're gonna deal a lot of extra damage. You have no casting time, so if you're a mage and you have it, you can just spam your frostbolt or running around. And after 30 seconds or no 20 seconds, you basically die because every second you lose 5% max health, and your health pool gets smaller and smaller until you just die, right? So after 20 seconds, no matter who it is, they're gonna die. And if it's the tank, probably earlier, because they'll have so little health at around 10 seconds, they'll just get one shot, right? So you know that's gonna happen. So roughly around 10 seconds, whoever's second on the threat meter will have to move to where the tank is or be ready to move there so the boss doesn't turn and eat the entire melee group. And that will probably be wild, off tanks, whatever, whoever is high on threat. Probably the DPS warriors because they'll do more threat than wild if he's in deep prot. We're still gonna decide on which pack he's taking. Once you have the debuff that's slowly killing you, whether you're a caster or whatever, if you're a caster and you're up here or down there and you get the debuff, you're gonna start running while still spamming your frostbolts or your heals because they're instant cast, and you're gonna run over here and die, right? Because just like on Gaddon, you explode for a shit ton of damage, and if you do it in the raid, it's basically a wipe. Yeah. So because of that debuff, eventually just slowly killing everyone. It means the longer the fight's going on, the more people are gonna die, and eventually you just wipe. So this is a DPS race, while also making sure the tank keeps aggro and that the positioning is correct. So we're gonna start the encounter now, just so you can see what happens. Just a little roleplay thing.
I cannot control myself. I beg you, mortals, flee! Flee before I lose all sense of control. The black fire rages within my heart. I must release it! Flame! Death! Destruction! cower mortals before the wrath of blood. No! I must fight this. Vaelastrasz.
Okay, so you see you have the buff. Obviously this is retail, so it's gonna be slightly different, but basically all of your resources are gonna be maxed, so you can use whatever you want endlessly. So warriors, once it's below 30% or 20%, just spam execute, and then it should go down really fast, unless we screw up with the threat and the aggro. You see the flame breath, all the kind of stuff, and I have the debuff now. So damage doesn't increase, spell costs are instant, reduce max health every 5 seconds. So I'm gonna bubble that because I don't want to die. I'm just gonna kill him now. But by the end of that, well, basically that happens, and you die, right? So when that happens, you explode. So that for the main things, obviously not a problem because you're gonna be where a bloody corpse is. But if you're a melee for some reason or a caster gets it, you need to run away from the raid and die in peace, right? Alright, that should be Vaelastrasz. I'm gonna go run back now and see if we can get some loot. See you guys in game.